So what's your first question for me then, Devin?
So
What are we
I've
gonna
heard
do?
that you might be a little bit of a tequila connoisseur,
Well,
or at least a beginning connoisseur.
Yeah, let's not use the word connoisseur. I'm learning mostly from you,
Right.
going back and forth Instagram style,
Right.
and give me some advice,
Yeah.
which has been great so far. Like, I think it's interesting because anytime you try a new sort of alcohol or liquor, like there's an initial phase where you're like, ooh, not sure if I like that.
Like a relationship.
But yes.
Yeah.
But then the more you spend time with it, the more you're like, I actually
could
really
dig
do
this,
it.
you know? So what were you before? A whiskey guy?
I've always been a beer guy.
Beer guy. Okay.
But I started to realize that sometimes beer does not necessarily agree with my body.
No,
So
I
was
get it.
like, I got to
get
try
it.
some new
Plus,
stuff.
I feel like tequila's more efficient, you know?
It's a lot faster.
For the end goal, you know? So I was a whiskey guy for the longest time, and I also realized that whiskey is not good for me. Like, we all have that one alcohol that we shouldn't drink for whatever reason. Maybe it makes you crazy. Maybe you get too drunk. Maybe it just doesn't agree with you, whatever. As much as I love bourbon, every time I drink whiskey, I do stupid things, and I wake up with a stupid hangover. And playing shows every day, I just can't afford that, you know? And so tequila, a little fun fact about tequila.
Oh,
I'm sure
go.
Dan and Shay could tell you about this. But it's actually the only technical, like, upper alcohol.
Oh.
Everything else is technically a depressant, but tequila is made from agave nectar, so it's actually an upper. So if you notice, when you drink it, it keeps you going, it keeps you lively. Your hangovers aren't that bad. I mean, it's just, and it tastes good, so it's dope.
Do you feel a little anger towards Dan and Shay because they stole the song title Tequila? Are you like, guys, this is my thing?
You know, when I gave them that song title, they
Hope you
made
get
an
royalties
agreement
off
to
that.
me. Well, yeah, I mean, I had to be a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Because it just would make them look a little.
Sure.
If my name was on that, you know. No, I'm just kidding. Dan is an incredible songwriter in his own right, and then he wrote that with Nicole Gallion, who's incredible, and then one of my good friends, Jordan Reynolds, who's absolutely incredible as a singer, as a writer, as a producer, everything. I don't know. I think they just found a really cool topic that was like on the ups right now. Like tequila, if you notice, is kind of blowing up, and they did it the right way and made it nostalgic and made it sing along. And Shay's voice is just perfect for it. So.
And I know you're a pretty artistic guy, and you've got a really great vision for things. Your music videos are fantastic, but
Thanks, man.
the video for Tequila, not that I want you promoting Dan and Shay all night, but oh my God.
Well, we actually have the same director.
Oh, okay.
So
is that Tracy? Paul?
Paul Tracy.
Yeah, Paul Tracy, yeah.
Sorry, Patrick Tracy.
Sorry, P.
You said
I know
Paul,
P.
went for
Tracy.
Paul.
I apologize.
P. Tracy is what his name is. He's incredible. Yeah, the Tequila video was shot in Colorado. Patrick was also the guy that did my Asking for a Friend video, which actually has this really cool concept to it. So he's just a really good visual guy, but he also makes sure that, you know, videos are a way to kind of like take the song to the next level, or at least twist it on a different way that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And so, I'm proud to know him as a friend and to work with him. And Dan and Shay are some of my two seriously best friends. Another thing that I'm going to tip you guys off with today is the jacket that I'm wearing on stage that is actually up. Can we
Somewhere.
get the jacket, please? Where's it at? There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, we're going to show it. Here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice toss.
See the jacket. If you see this jacket, I got this jacket about 1.5 years ago. I've been on Ellen with it. I've done many things. All of a sudden, I see Shay wearing this jacket.
What's that all
It's
about?
the same jacket, Shay, and you know what you've done. So I'm wearing it today because I'm going on before them. And if he wears it on stage too, then you can, you know where it,
You
know
got
where
it
it was
first.
first. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. No, I love those guys, man.
I'm St. Pierre from the Loretta Young Show, 93.1 WPOC, talking with Devin Dawson. We're talking about visual stuff too with the videos, but you have got tattoos all over the place.
Yeah.
And I am fascinated by tattoos, especially when someone like you, full arms, I know you've been working on the chest here a little bit too. Where do you get the vision for how you want this all tied in together? Like that's that's a challenge I have. Like I've got half a sleeve and I've got a little bit on my forearm, but I don't really know how to tie everything together.
I mean, okay, so I started this about 6 years ago, and the whole vision was it's kind of traditional Japanese with like a little neo twist, but it's land, sea, and air. So I have land on my left arm with a traditional kind of like Siberian tiger and a dragon up here, which is pretty traditional for Japanese. Usually for sea, you'll see a koi fish, but I did an octopus.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
I'm obsessed with the number 8, so it kind of made sense. And across my chest, it's called the Eurasian black vulture, and it's the biggest bird in Asia, and it kills wolves.
Oh.
So, I don't know. It's pretty
So
brutal.
you're pretty hardcore
I like it.
over
Yeah,
there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had this thing for like 6 years, and I go to my hometown guy, and I'm only in my hometown for like 2 or 3 times a year, so I sit as much as I can, like 4 or 5 hours, and it's kind of been this concept that we've been working on for a couple years. So it's kind of finally coming together. When it's all done, it'll all be one piece. It'll all look the same, shaded, and yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest thing is to trust your artist. I think find somebody that you believe in, and then give them the parameters of your concept or whatever, but let them do it. Like, don't try to nitpick every little thing, because then it's not going to be them.
Right.
Do somebody that you believe in and let them have that artistic freedom, and then the result will be exponentially better that way.
Well, before we wrap this up, debut album came out a few months back, earlier in 2018.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
how have you felt this year? I mean, I know you've been on a couple of big tours.
Yeah.
You've been playing a lot. I mean, how has it all been this year?
Dude, it's been a dream come true, man. I think we do so much work before we get to put music out, and it's almost like you don't forget why you do it, but then when you finally put music out and you have a hit single and you have people singing along and you get to the next single and you get to play these shows where people sing every song from the album. It's like I did so many shows before I had music out, you know, where I was like, this is coming out one day, or you haven't heard this yet, but, you know, and now
Eventually.
it's like, now you can go to the show and have heard the album and maybe pick your own favorite, even if it's a single or not. And it's just a really good feeling to have my story out there and to have people starting to get to know me this year. It's really cool.
Well, we're excited for people to get to know you even more, especially here today at Sunday in the Country. Thank you so much for being here, man. We're looking forward to seeing you on stage.
Always good to see you, brother. Cheers.
All right. Pleasure.
Thanks, man.